Welcome to your self-guided Big Sky Cruiser tour. We're going to start at the back of the van. If you are going to have these back doors open, I suggest locking them. And if not that, and it's nice because you have speakers right here, so if you would like to cook on the stove and hang out in the van or hang out in the back of the van, these are a great thing to listen to. But you can also fully unlock this door and it will magnetize to the side of the van, like so. To put it back in place, you simply grab the door. It will re-engage right here, and you can close it. The other big thing to know about these back doors is you always want to close this left one first. This is glow-in-the-dark tape to help remind you. These are great straps to keep your chairs or other things. This is the table. This often needs to be tightened up before you drive. All your window coverings you will find here. And then jumping up into the van, we'll go through the kitchen. In this drawer, we've got cups and wipes and cards and other things. I always recommend cushioning things so that they don't rattle around as much when you drive. The other thing is you want to make sure that you click all the drawers before you drive. You got more kitchen stuff in this drawer. Again, click it before you drive. In this drawer, very important, for the stove, you always want to put your stove parts into this drawer. I like to put them into this heart-shaped oven mitt, and they just fit perfectly. We also have a headlamp in here, tea and garbage bags. And again, click it before you drive. This works just like your stove at home, gas stove. You just turn it, it sparks, and it will turn on. For your sink, the stopper is in it right now, which you can pull out, but always leave that strainer in there. That helps protect our water system. Soap, if you want to turn on the water, you need to activate the water pump, which you can find on the side of this cabinet right here, conveniently located. You'll hear it turn on. This is your heater. If you'd like heat, you turn it to the blue flame, give it a few moments, turn it all the way to the hot position, and you'll have heat in no time. If you'd just like to use the fan, turn it on the fan. Otherwise, you can leave it off. The air is going to come out from down here underneath the bed. If you'd like to use this outlet, you will need to turn on this switch over here on the side of the cabinet. Just hold it down, the green light will turn on, and then that will give you access to the outlet over here. If you're not using it, do turn it off. This will drain your power system. Speaking of the power, this is the monitor that's going to tell you what percentage you have in your batteries, which is important to monitor. If this is low, like 50-60%, I would turn on the engine if you're not going to be driving, because if it gets too low, then your lights, your refrigerator, the fan overhead will not work. To utilize this fan, first you have to turn it to open it right here with this knob. Then you choose whether you want the air to go in or out. This is a toggle switch, and if it's in the middle, it won't work. The fan won't turn on. And then you have levels of speed over here, and you turn those on like so. So right now it didn't turn on because I don't have the air going in or out. You always want to turn off the fan and close the fan when you're driving. This is a thermostat, so basically you can program this fan to turn on when it's hot or cold. So you can determine what that is over here, but notice if it's turned on way too hot, the fan won't turn on if it's cold. So this can be another reason that the fan won't work. sliding door. This is the way you open the window on the sliding door. This works great if you want to have cooling at night. You open this window, or you open any of the other windows on the side of the van. You just do that like this by sliding and closing. It's always a good idea to have those closed when you're driving as well. The upper cabinets, we give you a electric kettle to make things easier in the morning. We also give you a lot of these bins to put your food in. It's a great idea so things don't rattle around while you're driving. And again, always want to click it before you drive. In this cabinet over here, you will find all of your kitchenwares, pots, pans, dishes, and then in here you've got pillows and a duvet and sheets. Sometimes you have to push the cabinets up high to get them to click. Your refrigerator is right here. Notice if this is up in the freezer, the little door, you will not be able to close the refrigerator. So if you feel resistance, don't push. Check this out. Here's a little bin for you to use to store your stuff in. It's a great idea to use the door of the refrigerator to store things like your chocolate and water, so it doesn't rattle around in the fridge while you're driving. The fridge should always be turned on, but I like to keep it about 6 or 7 to keep your food cool. Your water system is located right under here. So we also have a lot of kitchenwares which are labeled at the bottom of the cabinet. So we've done a good job of labeling all this, so you should be able to understand it quite easily. We do have an overflow system, so if the gray water tank does get filled up, it will drain to the ground. You can choose whether you want to fill your gray water into the gray tank or if you want to drain it to the ground. When you look at these levers, if they are parallel with the hose, that means that is what you have chosen to do. If they are perpendicular, that means the valve is shut. So if you want to drain your gray water to the ground, you swivel this like so. If you want to drain the whole tank, then you open this valve on the very bottom. And right now it is draining. You've got a cutting board, a dish rack, and other things under here to help you have the best cooking experience. I want to point out in these cabinets, all these shelves are adjustable. So you can lift up and slide them out, and then they can stack on top of one another like so to create more space or less space. This is a great step stool you can use for your getting in and out of the van, or a small stool, whatever floats your boat. Okay, the bed, I'm going to have you watch the separate video for setting this up and taking this down. I have labeled everything so that it should be super easy for you to understand. The one thing I'd like to add to the bed video is that there is a pizza pie latch that sometimes gets hooked up, and you'll see it in the video. It's located just right underneath here on the silver slide bar. We have also made a handy dandy little slot to put the table in, so that if you're not using the table here, so this table goes on like so, and to tighten it up so that it doesn't move around, you tighten this right here. This works like a ratchet, so when it gets all the way tight, if it's in a position where you can't adjust it, you just pull it out and reposition, and then you can then tighten it again. There's also one of these under the table. So if the table is swinging around, you just need to tighten these 2 latches more so the table does not move around while you're driving. To fully release the table, you release it here, and then I'll show you where you can slide it in on the side of the bed. So this table slides right down into this slot on the side of the couch, and you do often have to pull this cushion away to get it to slide down in there. It's a great place because then it won't rattle while you're driving. We have taken a picture of the mileage so that we know where we begin and end, and photos of the van so we have a documentation of the full van. I'd like to point out you have a fire extinguisher up here as well as underneath the sink if you need it. And then also looking in the glove box, you have an informational sheet on anything that might go, question you might have about the van is located on these sheets. Also, if you're curious about what this van is made up of, we have the spec sheets as well. And then most importantly, when you're going to drop off the van, we have the drop off checklist. So that'll just help you make sure that you take care of everything so you avoid additional charges. You can find all of this in the glove box as well as an extra key for the van. The van also has a keypad on the outside that is handy so that you don't have to worry about losing the key. The code is located on those sheets in the glove box. The gas tank is located on the driver's side over here. If you have to open the driver's side door, the gas tank is located right here. If you need to release the hood for some reason, the latch is located right under here. You just lift up. And I think that's it for your tour. Just give us a call or text us if you have any questions. One more note about the roof: you can go up there, but just know that you are fully responsible for any kind of injury that you sustain to the van or to yourself. Thank you. Have a great time in the van. We're excited for you to have a wonderful vacation. Bye-bye.